Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, my name is Kiana, and here we discuss Degrassi while we do our makeup. And today, so I had a little series going on that I redid or recreated looks of my favorite female Degrassi characters. So far we did Paige, Alex, for some reason I lost count. So we did Paige, Alex, Manny, Holly J. Today is the 5th video, and I'm going to tell you I'm not recreating this character on the sole fact because I have a beef with this character. All the reason why I'm not recreating this character is because I have a pure beef with her. If you don't know, this character is Clare Edwards. I have a beef with Clare Edwards. So this episode, I'm not recreating Clare Edwards. I'm ranting about Clare Edwards, and I'm doing my makeup. So let's get started. First things first, I'm going to say this. I did not always have a beef with Clare. Okay? I liked Clare. I liked Clare for a long time. That's why she's kind of like on this list. But in recent years, you know, since now I'm an adult and rewatching Degrassi, I've realized I don't like Clare. But I start off liking Clare. Let's say when she's first introduced. Yes, I do like Clare. But when I stop liking Clare is when we meet Mr. Goldsworthy. Yep. When we meet Mr. Goldsworthy, in my opinion, also I cleaned my sponge. This is a clean sponge, giant orange, wet. Okay, but anyway, when we meet Mr. Goldsworthy, Eli, that's when I personally believe the character of Clare took a major downgrade in likability. Yeah. Her relationship with Eli was a character flaw. It is not like to say I don't like Eli. Actually, I don't like Eli. I don't like Eclare. That's better. I don't like Eclare. Okay, because Eli, once he got his mental health under control, he was pretty cool. He was pretty cool. Funny. But I'm going to say this. Eli and Clare's relationship, Eclare, as the fandom has called them, was a toxic, emotionally abusive relationship that to this day is romanticized. It's toxic, it is abusive, and it's romanticized. If you don't believe that, let me walk you through the Carfax, okay? Now, some people will say when I bring this up, well, he was mentally unstable, he was mentally ill. That doesn't give him a right to emotionally abuse Clare. Okay? Just because he was mentally unstable, mentally ill, just being diagnosed with his bipolar disorder, does not mean it gave him a full excuse in emotionally abusing Clare. He was never physically abusive to Clare, but he was emotionally abusive and manipulative to Clare. First things first. Okay? When they first meet, let's start off with that. When they first meet, this man, Eli, put Clare through the ringer. okay? Through the ringer, playing with her emotions, on and off. She couldn't decide if he liked, she couldn't figure out if he liked her or not. That's one. That's one. Flag one. That's one. Flag one. Red flag right there. Big old red flag. Flag one. Like, I experienced a dude like that. He was so on and off. He was talking about, it was like, no. No. Either you want me or you don't. No ifs, ands, and buts. Either you want me or you don't. If I have anybody younger than me or the same age as me, if he doesn't, okay, you're into a guy, and he keeps going back and forth with you, talking about, I'm not really into a relationship. I like you, but I don't want to be in a relationship. I'm not ready for a relationship and stuff like that. And he keep acting like he's your boyfriend, whatever. He's acting like your man. He's trying to treat you like you his woman, whatever. And he keeps telling, well, we're not in a relationship. I'm not really ready for that commitment yet. Cut him. Cut him. Because he's playing with you. He's manipulating you. He's playing with you. Okay? Little advice right there. If you didn't know, now you know. He is playing with you. Drop him like a hot potato and move on. Okay? Because that's not worth your time. That'll keep you dragging along for years. Cut that off. Cut that off. Cut that off right there. Right there. Start talking about, cut it off. Move on. Because I bet you have plenty of people that want you. It doesn't even have to be a man. It could be a woman. Going back and forth with you about a relationship. But everything y'all do together, no, drop it. It's not worth your time. Okay? Drop it. Drop it. Do you hear me? Drop it. I'm looking at you right now. Drop it. Okay? So, big old red flag right there. He kept going back and forth. Then he said, oh, well, really, it's really because my dead ex-girlfriend. I really can't be with you because my dead ex-girlfriend. Anyway, so they moved past that. Now, she realizes this man is overbearing. He is controlling. He is in her face 24/7. Okay. He's suffocating. But she notices it, but she doesn't say anything. And then Allie has to tell her, like, look, you gotta say something. You gotta say something. He is in your face 24/7. Say something. Because you gotta breathe. He not even let you hang out with your friends. He not even let her hang out with the friends by herself. Because he says he's worried. He's scared that he can't protect her. She out with her friends. Dog. Friends. The sun is doing some cloud stuff, so, but again, this is y'all as a fandom. That's I'm talking to y'all. This is y'all favorite relationship. My favorite relationship is Sean and Emma, but as much as I don't like Emma, but my favorite relationship is Sean and Emma. And here y'all go rooting for Eclare. Ooh. But anyway, hopefully y'all are seeing what I'm seeing as I'm talking about it. Now, okay, she tells him. He calls psycho. He runs his car into a wall. facial hairs, like little mustache, little peach fuzz, little dark spots. Now that you have thought about that, he runs his car into a wall because he wanted her to come and visit him in the hospital to show that he cared, to show that she cared about him. He did that. He did that. And you're trying to tell me, you're trying to convince me this is the couple. This is the couple of the show. Okay? This is the couple. Sure. Okay? Let's go to exhibit, what was that? D. Exhibit D. Okay? After that, he decided to get on medication, get himself some help. Cool. Fine. Perfectly fine. Great. Work on yourself. Claire moves on with Jake. Fantastic relationship, in my opinion. It was a good relationship for her. Then Degrassi writers had to screw it up and make Jake her stepbrother. I realized that also with all of the Degrassi writers. Why do you ruin the relationships, the good relationships that Claire had outside of Eli? Because something I don't understand. You made Claire the star, like the main character, the starring role. You centered a lot of the show around Claire. And you made her go through so much. Okay? The emotional relationship, that's one. Okay? Made one of her best relationships, her stepbrother, gave her cancer. Okay? And then after cancer, had her get pregnant in high school and then lose the baby. And on top of that, she's not even valedictorian. Like, why did you do that? On top of that, she's not even... She didn't... She doesn't even become valedictorian in the end. Good for Connor. I like Connor. I do. I realize a lot of my favorite characters are actually males in the show. I do have a lot of female characters, but like male characters that I really don't have any type of problems with, a lot of them are male characters. Connor, Adam, Drew, Sean. But anyway, moving on. Okay, so gets on his medicine, works out, cool. You make her best relationship, one of her best relationships, her stepbrother, cool. Moving on. So while she's still in this, but we're going a little too far ahead. But while she's still in this relationship with Jake, right? Eli is in the background trying to sabotage it. He wrote a play about him and Claire. Some people think it's sweet. Some people call that obsessive. I am on that other end. Okay? So, wrote about him and Claire. Of course, with the help of Imogen. But Imogen, here's another proof that Eli was an emotional abuser. He played with Imogen's feelings. Yes, Imogen was an enabler of his psychotic episodes and stuff like that. She was an enabler, but Eli knew Imogen had a crush on him, and he used her emotions to get back with Claire. Think about that. Okay? He did that. Wrote a play about him and Claire. And that whole time, he's staring at Jake and Claire. And he decides, you know what? I need Jake. He's a contractor, right? I need Jake. He can build our sets. Okay? Then after that, he decides, you know, this was about Fitz, but I have beef. I don't have a beef with Fitz anymore. I have a beef with you, Jake, because you're with my woman, who's not my woman anymore. But because of you, Jake, she's not my woman anymore. So guess what? I'm changing the name to Blake or something. Jake and Blake. Yeah. We're doing that. Making you the villain. Guess what? You can also be the star in the play. He did all of this so he can harm Jake and make Jake look bad in front of Claire, so Eli can be like a hero in front of Claire to win her back. You can try to blame that on mental illness all you want, but it's not mental illness. That man was abusive and manipulative. And in the beginning, Claire kind of realized that, but after a while, I think she developed Stockholm Syndrome because she stopped calling him out on his abusiveness and she kept going back. That's why I have beef with Claire. She kept going back. She kept going back. He's emotionally abusing you and you keep going back. I know you're not supposed to blame the victims in this situation, but Claire is a fictional character. She's not a real character. She can reflect some real people. But Claire, in this instance, she knew what was happening with this man. She kept going back. At this point, I can't do nothing for you. Can't do nothing for you but pray. Just kept going back. Okay. She keeps going back. Anyway, moving on. So, eventually they get back together. For whatever reason this time. I don't know why. But, I don't know why this time. But they eventually get back together. This whole time, a lot of her relationships with her friends are slipping away. She's not really hanging out with Allie anymore. Or Jenna. Casey. Connor. She's not hanging out with her crew that she originally stepped in Degrassi with anymore. Because of who? Eli. She's not really focused on her studies. She's a whole different person now. There's a whole Eli. And so once Eli finally graduates, right? She realized, I got no friends. What happened to my friends? And her friends are all looking at her like, wait, you dropped us. Which they rightfully had the right to do. They were like, what you want? Why are you talking to us? You dropped us, remember? You were hanging out with Eli. You were hanging out with Eli. And then you acted better than us because you had that distinguished internship. She did act like she was above everyone. That's I liked Claire. Again, when she was first introduced, she was funny. Okay. She was the logical one. Casey did do her wrong. Then again, he did get his when Jenna beat his ass with a guitar, so. But I'm surprised she even, like, I'll do a sidetrack note right here. Jenna, why were you surprised when Casey cheated on you with Marisol? I mean, he cheated on Claire and got with you. So, Casey's a cheater. Cheaters are gonna cheat. That's in your nature. But, moving on. Back to Claire. So, yeah, that. And then she was all about her friends. And then she meets Eli, and that all changes. That literally all changes. And again, she's no longer hanging out with her friends. And when he finally graduates, she's like, I don't have friends. Yeah, you don't. You don't have friends. You don't have really anything. Because you centered your entire life around this emotionally abusive man. So, like, I can't really do anything for you. Luckily, she had, you know, some good friends that were like, okay, if you, like, hang out with us again, we'll forgive you. Like, luckily, she had, like, some easygoing friends, okay? You can start hanging out with us again, you know, we'll move on past this. Luckily, she had some hanging out, some good friends. Like, I wouldn't do that, personally. Personally, I wouldn't do that. I personally wouldn't do that, but then again, I'm not them. So, it is what it is. So now, Ryan's back in her life. After she had to do an apology tour. Okay, everything seems good. Her and Eli are somehow gonna make a long distance relationship work until she graduates and go to New York as well. It's just fine, dandy. Everything seems swell. Then this dude, Eli, cheats on her and denies it. He insists. He's like, I'm not cheating on you, Claire. I did not cheat on you, Claire. I'm not cheating on you, Claire. Then messed around and slept with this girl named Lenore. Had an emotional connection with this girl named Lenore. I feel like that's even worse than just, you know, sleeping with somebody. Emotional connection? Really? Really? That means you truly care about this person. Enough to get to know them and everything about them. And it's one thing, like, cheating is bad enough, but, like, you cheat because you have impulses, and then there's cheating, and then because you actually like someone else, but you don't feel like letting go of an old relationship with that. Emotional abuse. Emotional abuse. Emotional abuse. I got some new brushes here. That's one of them. Here's another one. Pretty, right? I got them from an online company called Sapphire Brushes on Instagram. They're Black owned. These are quality brushes. They're so cute as well. I use this one as my dusting off my powder and setting my face. Okay, anyway, moving on. So gets in an emotional connection with another woman in New York. I ain't cheating on you, Claire. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You cheated on me. Okay. Oh, while I'm still recovering from cancer. Eclare stands. What do you have to say for that? Is that your king? That's your king? That's your king. He cheated on Claire while she was still recovering from having cancer. But that's y'all end game. That's y'all end game. He was still recovering from cancer. I finally fixed my bronzer. It's just drying here. She was recovering from cancer. And guess what he decided to do? He went and cheated on her while she was recovering from cancer. Okay. The way I'm telling this story leads on to my next point. Okay. Okay, it moves on to my next point. Now, okay, cheats on her while she's still recovering from cancer. Then Claire falls into the arms of Drew Torres. Okay? They both helped each other when they lost Adam. Why did we have to kill my baby Adam? I understand why. Because the message would resonate more, but that was my baby Adam. R.I.P. So they were comforting each other in the loss of Adam. She was his VP and everything, so he also helped her with chemo brain. They were getting close. They were getting close. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. I liked Claire and Drew. A lot of people do not like Claire and Drew. I liked Claire and Drew. Point blank period. I liked Claire and Drew. I think they were cute together. Their relationship was exactly what it was supposed to be. I don't think they were supposed to be endgame or nothing like that. I do believe they were like, they had a relationship exactly what it was supposed to be. It was like an in-between stage, something that they both needed to transition with. Like, they were both in a transition state. They both got broken up with. Well, Claire dumped Eli, and because he cheated on her, and then Bianca dumped Drew. But they were both in a relationship that needed to be. It was kind of like Sean and Ellie for me. Like, when they started their relationship, it was meant to happen at the time it did. It was never supposed to be long lasting. Same thing with Sav and Holly J. It was never supposed to be long lasting. It was exactly what it was meant to be. Okay. Now, with that being said, Claire's baby was Drew's. I'm gonna let you have your moment, your pause, whatever. Before I move on. While I look for this brush, I'm gonna let you have your little moment. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Now. Yeah, I said it. I said it. Yeah, I said it. Claire's baby was Drew's. Claire's baby was Drew's. It was supposed to be Drew's. It was always meant to be Drew's. They were supposed to be a blended family. And I personally believe that the Degrassi writers made Baby Taurus into Baby Goldsworthy because of fans. It was already written in stone in the script that that baby was Drew's. It was always going to be Drew's. But once, you know, fans got that storyline, got the glimpse of that storyline in the trailer, the music video trailer, fans freaked out and was like, no, that baby better not be Drew's. It better be Eli's. Blah, blah, blah. And that's when they did like a mid-season rewrite. Because you do know that by the time the trailer, the season trailers were rolling out, they were just now wrapping up for the season. They weren't done filming. So mid-season wrapping, almost done with the season finale, almost done with the show. I bet you 100% they rewrote that storyline so fans wouldn't freak out and stop watching the show and all this type of stuff to pretty much prevent fan backlash. To prevent fan backlash, they rewrote that storyline and made Baby Goldsworthy. But that baby was Drew Taurus's. Full-fledged. That baby was Drew Taurus. And that baby was Drew's baby. And because the writers do know the mistake that they did with Emma and Spinner, they tried to prevent that. But you always have, you know, some people like me who believe that it should have been what it was. Like, the baby was Drew's. You're not going to convince me otherwise. The baby was Drew's. And they knew that baby was Drew's. Because I'm going to tell you one thing. Miss Clare, she's a lot of things. She's dramatic. She can be a little dumb. But she's in social settings. But one thing she's not is an idiot and does not know how to count. So you're going to tell me, you're going to try to convince me that Claire does not know how to count. And mid-pregnancy, in the middle of her pregnancy, all of a sudden now we know, oh, it's a miscount. The baby's Eli's. When did her and Eli sleep with each other? Last time I checked, Claire and Eli hadn't slept with each other for like months before she became pregnant. Like the last time her and Eli slept with each other was probably right before the school year. Because Eli was in school in New York. Claire was in Toronto. They didn't really see each other before then. So you're telling me she somehow slept with Eli when? When? When did she sleep with Eli? When did she sleep with Eli? The baby was Drew's. The baby was Drew's. It's lot. One thing Miss Claire can do, she can count. The baby was Drew's. The baby was always Drew's. That's why they have. And you're going to try to tell me, you're going to try to convince me that baby was Eli's? Halfway through the pregnancy? Halfway through the pregnancy, you're going to tell me the baby was Eli's? Make that make sense. They haven't seen each other for months. And then all of a sudden, she's pregnant with Eli's baby when they hadn't seen each other for months. And the last person she did sleep with was Drew. Make it make sense. That doesn't make sense. The baby was Drew's. The baby was Drew's. The baby was Drew's. But because of fans, they did not make that baby Drew's. They changed the baby from baby Taurus to baby Goldsworthy. And let's also backtrack to that too. Okay, let's talk about how he treated Claire once he found out she was pregnant with Drew's baby. He called her a whore. Talked about Drew, said he's an idiot. What are you guys gonna do? Live together, be in love, start a family, all this type of stuff, get married and all this. She's just like, no, we're just gonna be co-parents. We're gonna raise this child. God, a whore. And this is the stuff you're rooting for? Claire, this is the man you want to be with? He called you all types of stuff to your face while you were pregnant. Of course, while you were pregnant. It doesn't even matter if it was his child or not. This is when you are pregnant and he supposedly loves you. And he supposedly loves you. And he said all that to your face about your baby's dad. Nope. Let me look for this palette. last minute's being cut out. That's the last minute and 30 seconds, yeah. That don't sit right with me. That don't sit right with me. If you supposedly love me, you will never call me a whore. Especially while I'm pregnant. This man supposedly loved her so much that he wrote a play about her. Then turned around and called her a whore to her face. Because she got pregnant by another man. You weren't even together when she got pregnant. You weren't. You weren't even together. You weren't together when you weren't together. You weren't together. When she got pregnant, you weren't together. And then you called her a whore because of that. When you cheated on me. That's the reason why we weren't together. Again, Claire had all of these red flags. And Degrassi readers, you had all of these red flags on why Eli wasn't it. Again, she had all of these red flags. This is why I stopped liking Claire, because she had all of these red flags to turn away, to walk away from Eli. And she did it. She did it. I guess you can also say why I don't like Eli. You can also call this video like why I don't like Eli. Why I have beef with Eli and stuff like that. Like, you can also call it that, this type of video too. But at the end of the day, this video is about Claire. Again, Degrassi writers. You made her the star and you did all of this to her. Again, Claire. This is the type of man you want to be with. Why I got beef with you. Because Claire I know, Claire Edwards I know, wouldn't take back a cheater. But it is what it is. I'm gonna finish these eyes up because we're going for like an orangey sunset look. You'll get the final look. So, but I don't understand. Because again, the Claire I know she wouldn't deal with this. She would not deal with this. Okay, what else did she go through? She lost a baby after this. Find out it's Eli's baby, even though I will die on this hill that baby was Drew's baby. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That baby was Drew's baby. And I wish they would have kept it as Drew's baby. I wish they would have kept it as Drew's baby. I want to see how that whole dynamic was going to work. Because in my version, the baby was Drew's baby. Of course, him and Claire aren't in a relationship. They are co-parents. They're good co-parents. She lives in Toronto, at least for the first couple years of her kid's life. Well, they named the baby Adam. So, first couple years of Adam's life. And Eli, if he was a decent person, he would say to Claire, I want to be with you, Claire. you know what, I love you, I accept this child as my own, I love your child, and guess what, I'm coming home. I'm gonna live in Toronto. Wow, as long as you're here in Toronto, I'm gonna be in Toronto. And voila, we have an ending. We have a blended family. But no, that's not what they wanted to do. So I need a tighter brush. So yeah, that's just in my opinion. And on this opinion, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm big, you're little. I'm smart, you're dumb. So shut up. Because it only makes sense. It only makes sense that the kid was Drew's. And I'm not even gonna lie to you. I like Drew and Claire. They were exactly what they needed for each other in that moment. Excuse me. They were exactly what each other needed in that moment. And I liked that. This video is getting long. I'm gonna finish up my eyes, then we'll wrap up. Okay, we're done with the rest of the face. We're just doing the lips right now. The sun has officially set, so I look a bit ghostly. The room's a little bit darker, but the eyes are done. The lashes are loosely put on because I'm in the house. What I look like putting on lashes, secured lashes in the house, like I'm talking, they're loose. They are loose. They might blow away at any second. You might say, well, Kiana, you do have, like, I ate. It's off. I ate, so it has a little bit of residue left, but I'm reapply it just for you. So we have, girl, I can't see. So we have the Revlon Color Stay Long Wear Lip Liner in Sienna. That's what I did the base lip on. Nice color. Since we did put some on before, I'm just gonna add just a little bit more. Not too much. Just to like reapply. To up that again. Then we're taking the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. These are nice. These are so nice. I have this one. What color is this? In stone. And then I also have another one, and that one's in petal. They are so pretty. They are so pretty. So this is the gloss that we're using. It's a nudie gloss. I think they're like a plumper gloss, so that you'll have like it's menthol almost on your lips. I realized when I looked in the mirror, I like did my foundation pretty bad because of course on my mouth. I ain't hit those. I ain't get those. But so final remarks. Again, I liked Clare. I liked Clare in the past tense. But when she met Eli, it was, I know one liked Clare, and it was because of Eli. Plain and simple. It was because of Eli, and that's just it. If we end up leaving Eli alone, like the relationship alone, maybe I would have liked Clare more. Eventually learn to like Clare again. Something, but actually Eli being in game, no, I don't like that. But it is what it is. I ain't write the show. I just watched it, so I just take it. But I'm done here. Subscribe, share, like, comment. Next time we will be moving on to Ali Bandari. I'm excited about that one because she wears a lot of pink, and I like pink. Oh yes, I do. See you later. Well, bye. I can't close this out for some reason. But yeah, next time we're doing Ali Bandari.